So for more on Donald Trump and the debate strategy, we want to bring in Danielle Alvarez. She's a senior advisor for the Trump campaign. Thanks so much for joining us. Listen, you know, Donald Trump leading up to this debate has had an awful lot to say about ABC, about the rules around the debate. He said ABC is the worst, that the rules are rigged. He even suggested that perhaps ABC would be willing to give Kamala Harris the questions ahead of time. What's the former president trying to do here? Does he want to participate in this debate or not?
President Trump will be at the ABC debate this evening. In fact, he has accepted several debates, including an NBC and a Fox debate. Kamala Harris finally accepted his debate challenges after skirting 50 days since ascending the top of the ticket and not talking to voters, not talking to media. So tonight's going to be a very important night to take her to task, to make sure she talks to voters about those key issues that she has failed on during the last 3.5 years in the White House, being inflation, housing affordability, the open border, and certainly the chaos at home and abroad because of her failure.
And so you're kind of leading into what my next question was going to be. It was very similar to what I asked the state congressman. What are sort of the key points, the key takeaways that the former president wants the audience to get?
It's really important to focus on those issues. You see that in poll after poll, people don't feel like they know who Kamala Harris is. People certainly know the successful record of President Donald Trump. And again, because she has not had unscripted moments, because when she does rallies, she reads from a teleprompter. She has not spoken to her press pool. She doesn't take questions or do press conferences. Tonight will be the first time to hear those policy positions. All she has said so far is let's turn the page. But what I would remind the audience viewing is that she's in the White House, and we must turn the page from her in order to bring prices down, again, secure that southern border, make sure we don't have fentanyl and illegal immigrants pouring over, and make sure that we can bring peace through strength.
There's much has been made about Donald Trump's, I guess, maybe unconventional preparations for this debate. How is the former president preparing?
He's in good spirits this morning. You know, he does not do debate prep. He goes out there and he does rallies, massive rallies with tens of thousands of patriots. We do press conferences. He does tough interviews, whether it's local or national interviews. He's broken the internet a few times doing incredible podcasts or X Live with Elon Musk. So he prepares in his everyday campaigning because he knows what's at stake. He knows that he is not just talking to the media, but that he is using the media and these avenues to talk to voters, to take his record to voters. He is the best asset that this campaign has, and we look forward to the debate this evening.
You know, there's been some recent reporting out of the New York Times that suggests that the president's allies and advisors are urging him, and I'm going to use the phrase that was used in the article, to be, quote, happy Trump and during the debate and not be sort of a mean, bullying Trump. What does that mean?
You know, I think President Trump is incredibly charismatic. I think he's incredibly funny. His ability to weave in and out of issue areas, to really focus on policy substance areas, that's the task at hand tonight. The task at hand tonight is to focus on core issues. He is going to go against Kamala Harris, who will be a strong debater and who has a very high bar, but I believe that President Trump will deliver.
All right, Danielle Alvarez, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.